So this is what Kali Linux looks like. So now let's explore the Kali Linux. So let's close this first. And as you can see here, this is all the applications. It's just the same with pressing the Windows button of the Windows operating system. So let's click on this one. As you can see, here are the favorites, terminal, text editor, file manager, it's like the same. And then recently used, all applications. Here are all the applications that are downloaded on the default on the Kali Linux. And we have here the um, tools that we have categorized by steps: reconnaissance, resource development, and impact. And we have here for the reconnaissance we have the Nmap, and for the credentials access we have the Gender Reaper and Hashcat, and we also have here initial access, SQL map, Goldfish, execution, and many other tools that are already downloaded on the Kali Linux. We have here the home, the file system, and then the trashed. Then we have here the this is the folder, and then let's try to open this one, and this is the folder. And then we have here the text editor, and then the default browser, which is Firefox, and the terminal. And now let's study some of the commands on the terminal. So we have here, we are on the tilde. What is the meaning of tilde? Tilde means you are in the Kali home, meaning if we take this PWD meaning we will take a look on the path that we are now. So it means we are on the home Kali, meaning if we ls in here, ls meaning we will list all of the folders or maybe files that are on that directory. Directory meaning the folder. So we can see here desktop documents downloads, just the same on the UI of file manager. So if we go to the let's see desktop, cd meaning change directory, this is just the same as clicking the desktop on the file manager. So that is for the traversing on the on using the Kali Linux terminal. So now let's start on our demo of using this Kali Linux on doing this catch the flag of Hack the Box. And we are going to do the CTF of the machine named code. So for this one, just click on join machine, then machine is joining, and then click on the connect to HTTP. And for the machine, click on the machine, open VPN, and then go to Singapore free, and then UDP, then we will download the VPN. And the VPN is now downloaded. Put your terminal and let's go to the downloads where it is downloaded. So cd ... The meaning of ... it means we will go back to where we were before. Desktop meaning we will go back to the home folder, which is Kali. So cd ... and then we will go to downloads. So cd downloads, and we are now on the downloads folder. If we ls in this one, you can see the OVPN, and we will use the sudo openvpn and the VPN file that we have to connect to our network, and the Kali as the path. Now we are connected on our target machine. We are now connected on the same network as our target machine, which is 10.10.11.62. So now let's just start this code and I will explain it later. So for this documentation, I have already found this machine. That's why I have already created the documentation of the step-by-step that I have done on doing this one. So for the learning outcomes, it is for you to learn how to use Kali Linux when simulating how to hack vulnerable machines. And for the step-by-step guide, you have already did the VPN connection of this step 1. So now it is for the initial recon using Nmap. And we have here Nmap SC SVA P4. What are those parameters? You can see those parameters on our cheat sheet of Nmap. If you take a look at this website, you can see here what are the meaning of those. And they have here a search for what are this one. So meaning of P4, meaning aggressive, meaning of SV, meaning attempts to determine the version of the service running on port. So for this one, this is the result of our Nmap. So for our target machine, it is showing that the host is up and the port of 22 is open for that host. And as you can see, it is running it is a version of OpenSSH and Ubuntu Linux. But let's find something useful on this one. As you can see here, there's also an open port which is 5000, and it is Unicorn, and it is named as Python code editor. So we are in the same network of that target machine, so we can take a look at their running website. So if we do this, http localhost 10.10.11.62, which is the our target, and it is running on port 5000. As you can see here, we have here the running Python code editor of that target. And let's find something useful that we can try to use to hack this vulnerable machine. And first thing that you should do is try to inspect their website. See if there is anything that is useful that we can use. Also try to see the console, and if there's nothing, maybe we can try and do traversal, like try and check if there's a login page, or maybe there's a register, or maybe they have a page for an admin. Because some frameworks have a default for the admin page, but this one it doesn't have, and it is running on 5000 as a default. Meaning, if they're running on a 5000, it means it is a Flask Python, because the default of Flask is running on port 5000. Because there are some defaults on the port of other frameworks. After doing all those standard checking on if the website is vulnerable, let's check first if there is a Python sandbox escape. If there's a vulnerability on the sandbox, meaning of sandbox is this one, the code editor. So we can search here as Python sandbox escape vulnerabilities, so we can try and do some hacking for this one. But I have already found the website for that one, and this is the website that I have found. So it is saying that I can bypass the Python sandboxes, which is the Python code editor, by trying these commands like os.system ls. It means I can pass a script on the code that they have there, and if the system is not protected, it will run the os.system. OS is a powerful library in Python. So let's try and do some importing of OS and see if this will work. But as you can see here, it is a restricted keywords. But as you can see, we are trying to find a vulnerability on this code. So let's try other term that is not on their security. As I am trying everything, I found this one. I found this accessing subclasses with bypasses. It means we will access all of the subclasses of this Python system. And we can try this one. Let's print this out. And if you print this out, you can see that all of the subclasses of this system. As you can see here, it is a class of type, and we can copy paste this and paste this on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT if there are something, there's a module that we can use to try to hack this vulnerable machine. And while doing those things, I have found that popen is something that we can use. What is popen? And here's the documentation for popen. So popen is a sub-process management that can use OS, something that is very powerful, because we can try and look for the files and file system of that machine. Now that we know that popen is among the classes of that one, we can now exploit that one. But now we want to connect to that website. So let's try and connect to that website using our netcat. Netcat is used for listening, and here is also the netcat command that you should know if you are trying to study netcat. And let's try and listen to that one. So ncat lbnp 444. So let's open our terminal and see lbnp 444. So we are listening on our port 444, and we want our target machine to connect to us. So let's do this. Let's copy this one and try to do this on their machine, which is the Python code editor. And your IP is the IP that I have on my machine. My machine is currently on the let's try IP if ifconfig. The meaning of ifconfig is we will look at all of the network of all the network. So this is the tunneling. This is the IP address that was given to us by connecting to the VPN. So we are in the 10.10.14.80, which is the same network as the target. 10.10.14.80. As you can see, it is on D444, the port that we are listening on our netcat. And let's see if we are. As you can see, we are already connected on the machine, because this is, as you can see, we are on the app production and app production code. Now that we are connected, we want to see if there are files that we can use against them. So to do that, we can use some commands on this one, such as, let's open our terminal. Let's do a PWD first. So we are in the home app production app. So let's find something in the home app production app that is writable and it has a type of file. So as you can see here, we can see there app by CSS, and look for something that we can use against them. And as you can see here, we can already see their database, and it is a vulnerability. So let's take a look at their database. So let's see we are on the app, and let's see on the instance, and let's see. So let's ls, and this, as you can see, this is the database at DB, and we want to connect to that database. For connecting to that database at DB, we will use SQLite 3 for connecting to that one. So SQLite 3 database.db, and we are already on the database. So for that one, we will try to look for all the tables. And as you can see, there are two tables, and there's one for the code, and then there's one for the user. And let's take a look at their user tables. And what are those? So let's do a query for this one. Let's select all from user, and let's see what are. And as you can see here, we can look for Martin, and it does this password. Let's try to SSH on Martin. But first, let's try and decode this password, Martin's password. So for that, we can use CrocStation for that, or maybe John the Ripper if you want to use John the Ripper. So let's just use CrocStation. CrocStation is just the same concept as using word lists that are available on the internet for all of the passwords that are on their database. So let's try and paste this one and try to croc this one. As you can see, it has a type of MD5, and this is the result of that password. And now field stored master, and this is the password of Martin. So now let's try to SSH on that one. So let's try to SSH on Martin at 10.10.11.62. I think this is one. Yes. And the password of this one, we can just paste it. And as you can see, we are now connected. We are now running as Martin code, and we can see this as who am I. So it is saying that I am now Martin. So the technique that we are doing that on our cracking that one is doing this catch the flag is called privilege escalation, meaning we are escalating our privileges and looking for something higher. And as you can see, we are now already on Martin. Let's check now what can Martin do on that. So for checking that one means we will use the sudo, meaning what are the sudo commands that Martin can do. Sudo l. And as you can see here, user Martin may run the following commands on localhost. So I think this is a vulnerability because this file can be run without a password, as you can see here, and user Martin can run that one. So now let's go and check that file if it is a vulnerability of that system. So pwd meaning let's check where are we, and we are on home Martin, and we can cut that one. Cut meaning we're going to concatenate that file and look for what is inside the file. So let's concatenate that. So user bin backkey .sh meaning it is a shell file, and as you can see here, it is a bin bash. And if you don't understand this one, you can just paste it on any AI like ChatGPT and ask them what is the purpose of this code. So after checking with ChatGPT, it tells us that the purpose of that code is for backupping a folder that is given to that shell file using a JSON file. So now I think that is a vulnerability because it can back up file, it can back up a folder, and we can now take a look at the folders that are restricted to us. So it is accepting a JSON file. So we can now create a JSON file for hacking that shell. So let's create a nano. Nano meaning it will open up a text terminal, text editor, and we can put something in there. So meaning nano root still that JSON. So for that, let's paste this one. Let's copy this and paste this one. So this will the destination of this one, the created backup that we will put is it is on the home Martin, and the directories to archive is the root because we want to see what is on the root folder. And Control X and then save modified, then right, yes, and we can now try and run the backup. So let's do the meaning of sudo is super user do, meaning we will try and meaning it will have a high privilege to do something that is not doable when you are not doing sudo. So user then back in sh and put the created file. For that, we have already created the home root. We have found all of the roots, and this is the file that we want, which is the root.txt that contains the flag that we want. So let's ls to see that one. So now we have here the tar.bz2. So now let's try to extract that root archive using our tar. So let's tar xvf. You can also see how to use tar. Go to this website or maybe tar --help, and let's try and run this one. So we need to go to the root and then root.txt to see what is the root.txt. So let's ls. As you can see, this is the root, and let's cd to the root, and let's ls. As you can see, this is the root.txt, which contains the flag for this code. So let's cut that root.txt, and as you can see, this is the code or the flag that we need. So let's copy this one and try to put it on the. It is not possible to retry the machine, but this is the code for the root, and the code for the user, as you can see here, is also. So for the code for the user, it is on this one. Let's try to run this again, and maybe we can try and get the user code. Try to run this one. Then ls cd ls, and this is the code for the user, and we can cut that as user.txt. So this is the flag for the user, and this is the flag for the root. So now we have found that vulnerable machine. So now let's analyze what we did during this demonstration. So for this one, what we did is try to simulate an attack by doing the catch the flag of the Hack the Box platform of their machine named Code. Using Kali Linux, we gained some learning outcomes like develop proficiency in using Kali Linux as a penetration testing environment, and we also learned how to use these tools that are available on Kali Linux. We also learned how to navigate and learn how the parameters and learning how to search for the meaning of those codes in the terminal. So if you don't know something, you can search it up on Google, or maybe do something like help. We have this like man and open VPN or the code that you want to see the manual of. So this is the manual of OpenVPN. You can also see the manual of Nmap, and you can also see like Nmap help if you like to see all the parameters of Nmap. I think that's it. Thank you, and I hope you gain something from this video of this demonstration of using Kali Linux. Thank you. Bye bye.